It's the Wickersham Leader Show with today's episode, A Rough Landing. Hello again, welcome back to the Wickersham Leader Show. I'm your host and your game master, and today we are continuing our playthrough of the Donkey Kong series, as well as our little retrospective and information on the promotional materials and stuff that happened around the time of each game's development. And now we've gone on to the Game Boy with Donkey Kong Land. Every single time you misread that bot's name. And, excuse me, where was I? Yeah, and now we've moved on to the Game Boy with Donkey Kong Land. This is a game that doesn't really have a lot of story behind it, but it more so is interesting for the kind of game it is, because it stands as an oddity amongst the other two Donkey Kong Land games, as well as an odyssey amongst the Donkey Kong Country series in general. This game was developed over the course of a year, and was originally poised to be something of like a... port, but they instead fought for it to be something more original, which is something that will actually go away as the Donkey Kong Land series progresses. This first one is very different from its console counterpart, but the other two are more similar, with Donkey Kong Land 2 almost feeling like a port. I mean, it's not. The levels are different and you're missing some abilities, so they have to change the level design, but it feels like a port at times. But let's take a look at some of the stuff they have, some of the renders and stuff they've made for the game first. Firstly, most of the renders for Donkey Kong himself and anything that appeared in Donkey Kong Country is almost exactly the same as the original game, or was taken directly from it. Like, this is from the original game, so is this and this and this. In terms of the new stuff, that would only be the renders and photos they made for the new enemies. Like, well, I guess this army render is new, but it was part of the original. It was made for the original game. I just don't think they showed it off. We got Chomps and Clambo. This is new. I think this one's called Fangfish. Yeah, Fangfish. Yeah, they made a whole bunch of new aquatic enemies. I'm not exactly sure why when Donkey Kong, why this one in particular, when the first game had enough enemies that were plenty fine. This one's called Flapper. And then hey, there's Hogwash. This guy appears on the box art. And that, I mean, that's really all there is. Not much new stuff was made for this game. It's really just taking elements that Donkey Kong Country originally used and using it again. The new stuff is all things like the environments and the level design and the gimmicks. You're not really going to find new stuff in terms of characters. There was one new character. Oh yeah, hold on. We got Nemo. The Kremlings bioengineered a flying pig. It's crazy. I don't know how they did it. We got this Nemo enemy who chases you in some levels, and then there's this Twister. And I think the zingers look a little different in this game compared to the original, but I'm not certain on that. But you could just tell that the stuff they made for this game, not as high quality as the console counterpart. I mean, yeah. Yeah. And we got renders for stuff like this game doesn't have save barrels to continue the game. It's got continue points, and there's the goal on the bottom left there. Oh, and this Kong token render with a hilariously off-model Donkey Kong. Oh, but the interesting stuff about this game is the things that happened before development. Like, there's this character, who we have no idea who he is or what his plan was, but everyone just calls him Hatted Kong or Kong with a hat, and that's about as far as he got in development. There was this enemy, Pucka, which didn't get made, I guess because they already had Fangfish, they didn't need another one. And then Rambunctious, a ram animal buddy that never got turned into anything. Which is very interesting that they were going to introduce a new animal buddy in this game, of all things. That pretty much does it for all of the actual artwork they made for this game. More than you would expect, but like less than like there usually is, right? Let's take a look at the ads. Now, the ads are actually the one thing that people actually know about this game, because it became a meme a couple years ago. And there it is again. Hold on, I want to call out. Listen to the music again. They actually have, like, a full-on remix of the music in these Japanese commercials, and I don't know why. Every region uses this commercial for it as a base, but they change, you know, they cut it differently, they change it a little bit, and which you can really notice because not only is the animation the same, but when DK actually gets squashed, it's still the Japanese cartridge on top. Oh, and then of course in Japan this wasn't called Donkey Kong Land, this was Super Donkey Kong GB. How many ads have all the crushed in Game Boy size? Honestly, I'm not sure. And this is more what you expect.
Wild new worlds, 30 savage new levels, cool computer-modeled graphics, and more head-banging bad guys. It's all the excitement of Donkey Kong Country. Now on Game Boy. This game is so hairy, you're gonna need shots.
He's the beast you loved on Super NES.
And here's the one that became the, oh, here's some pretty cool bananas.
And now we've captured him on
and
Game
you can see there, it's the Japanese cartridge, but they cut it so that people wouldn't notice it. Because, you know, you're supposed to only see it on screen for like half a second. And all the ads more or less use that. Although occasionally you did get something different, like this one.
Whoa, new Game Boy.
Yep, limited edition Game Boy Pocket Gold.
Can I go?
Yeah, later.
Hey, aren't you in the 100-meter butterfly?
Yeah.
Your race is on.
What? Nice try, kid.
Limited edition Game Boy Pocket Gold with Donkey Kong Land. $99.95, but only while stocks last.
Hey, Donkey, tu veux des bananes? Nintendo va les faire rentrer dans un Game Boy. On a une grosse.
Well, this one just uses music from Country.
Voilà, on a piégé Donkey. Donkey Kong Land, la plus grande aventure.
So this one's interesting because they even bother to show the game. But that's still the Japanese version. They didn't bother to change the graphics so it says Super Donkey Kong Land.
La plus grande aventure.
And I don't know why they didn't. Couple of ones comparing it to other land games on the Game Boy.
Dans les classiques, vous connaissiez Super Mario Land 1, Super Mario Land 2 et surtout Wario Land. Mais maintenant, il y a Donkey Kong Land sur Game Boy à un prix imbattable. Ne manquez pas les classiques avec Donkey Kong Land sur Game Boy.
So this is more advertising it as like the player's choice, which was Nintendo's way of doing cheap re-releases until like the end of the Game Boy's life. No, actually they had it as like the option until the Wii was the first one to not do player's choice, I think. Anyway, let's take a look at some of the print ads. There aren't very many. Yeah. They just liked to... This one's interesting. A portable version of the worldwide bestseller Donkey Kong Country hits the Game Boy with an all-new adventure. I can see why people would say this, and it's a very common misconception, but none of the Donkey Kong lands are actually ports. They are all different, but I can see why someone would think they're ports. They are very similar to the actual games they're based on. Of course, you got another one that's more in line with the kind of stuff that you would expect. Nothing too exciting, honestly, on this front. But it is notable that this one was advertised. This one is going to be advertised way more than all of the other Donkey Kong Land games. Like, this one had the distinction of being the first one, and they were like, it's Donkey Kong Country on Game Boy. You can take it with you anywhere. And that was the big selling point. Thank you, Super Retro Man Entertainment. All right, well, let's take a look at the real game. All right, so my original plan was to play this game on Super Game Boy, but I found out that for this one especially, the Game Boy Color colorization process actually colors all of the moving sprites, like characters and enemies, differently from the background. Unlike the Super Game Boy, which changes all of the palettes at the same time, and you're really gonna need it. You're really, really gonna need it, honestly, because this game has a really bad issue with colorization and what they decided to make. Seeing as this was the first one, you can see there's my test playthrough from the other day, so I'm very familiar with it. So you can see, first off, those are some very detailed sprites there. And that is something that's kind of a problem with this game, because when you've got graphics this detailed, and your characters are the same color as your backgrounds, yeah, you can't see anything. It gets especially bad later on. Luckily, the sequels managed to fix it, and playing it in Game Boy Color mode does highlight all of these moving sprites with different palettes, but oh my goodness gracious. It's a mess. So what's different and what's the same? Well, first of all, as you might have, you can see, you can only have one Kong on screen at a time. That's normal. When you have Diddy Kong, he just flies off screen. Oh, you're right. Hold on. There is game audio. I see it coming through. Alright, I'll turn it up. Hang on a second. How's that? Alright. So what's different and what's the same? Well, first of all, as you might have noticed on the map selection screen, we don't actually have the levels, the name of the levels printed on screen, nor the worlds. That's all contained in the manual. I do have the list of levels here with me, but that's just in case I get super lost trying to find bonus barrels and can't like find one. There is no inherent bonus for finding them all, but I do like to find them all anyways. Obviously, you can't have both Kongs on screen at the same time. That would be a little much. And you can press select to switch between the two of them. However, there's no indication that you actually have another Kong with you. So you just kind of have to remember that you have them. And most of the game's music is either adaptations or ports of music from the original game. Though there are some original tracks that they've put in here. Just like the console version, there is a bunch of bonus barrels in every level. The number is not consistent. And you can throw barrels, you can... Oh, I'm actually surprised you can ride the animal buddies here. I thought they would have done something else, like you transforming into them. But no, you can actually ride them. But as you can see, your sprite is massive. And that kind of turns into an issue later on. Your 1-up... I don't know why your life counter isn't a number. And this isn't something they fix in any of the other games either. It's represented by hearts on the bottom of the screen. And it stays that way. Oh, you can see I've collected all the Kong letters. They don't actually give you an extra life. You use them to save the game. If you bring all the Kong letters to the end of the stage, you can save. Which means that if you're good at the game, you can save every level. But if you're not good at the game, then you're gonna have a hard time trying to save. Granted, there's no like limit on when you can go back to an earlier level to get like Kong letters that you know how to get. So, you know, it's not going to be a huge issue, but so the plot of this game, by the way, is that Cranky Kong doesn't believe that Donkey Kong Country was a success because the game was good. He believes it was a success because it was really, like, new and bombastic and on Game Boy. So he challenges DK and Diddy that they can't do it again on Game Boy. And he calls up King K. Rool, he has K. Rool steal the Banana Horde, and they go on an adventure. All these worlds are new, but they take some environments from the original game and sprinkle in some new ones. Actually, the first world here is called Gangplank Galleon Ahoy, which beats DKC2 to the punch of including Gangplank Galleon as a world, which is interesting. DK and Diddy do control differently, and they still have the same benefits they had in the original game. DK can kill some enemies that Diddy can't. This'll trip up those little sluts. I mean, I just love that it's a super meta plot for, like, no reason. There are only 4 worlds in this game, making this the short Donkey Kong Land game by far. And the thing is, though, that thing I mentioned about not being able to save unless you have all the Kong letters, well, some of the Kong letters are hidden inside bonus areas, so you kind of gotta go out of your way to find them all anyways. It does a better job at balancing out the number of levels with each theme than the first game does, I'll say that much. Hold on. So unlike the Super Nintendo version, this game actually has respawning enemies if you get far enough away. Guess I can't get far enough away. So, I know I have Diddy, but, like, if you haven't been, like, really paying close attention for a while, you might not realize you still have him. And that kind of turns into a problem. Something we're gonna run into later that hasn't really shown up yet, but it will be an issue, trust me. The bottom of the screen is always death, no matter what. It doesn't matter, like, if there's floor below you. It doesn't matter, like, if you just jumped a little too high. The bottom of the screen is always death, like Contra. And that's true of all 3 Donkey Kong Land games, but it's way less of a problem in the later ones. So you might have noticed those Kong tokens I've been picking up. Well, they're used for this. You go to here and you have a couple of them, and when you touch one, I'm doing a terrible job showing that off right now, you get a 1-up. I'm not sure why they needed a second way to get you 1-ups, but they do. Oh, and even though Cranky's part of the plot, he doesn't actually appear in this game, nor does any other Kong. It's just DK and Diddy for the entire adventure. And now here we get a new level type, Gangplank Galleon. It's a very different take on how DKC2 does it. There we go, first death. Sounds like there's 1 or 2 new tracks. There's actually a bunch of new music. And most of that's in the later areas, not in this first one. I would say most of the difficulty in this game comes down to the control, 'cause it's hard to explain when you're just watching it, but same composers. I am not actually sure. I think David Wise did do the music for this one. I think. Not certain. And I think Robin, it was definitely like a multiple people. It wasn't just one person. Although David Wise may only be credited because they used his like original compositions and changed them around. So, you know, I'm not too familiar. But this game actually had the rope climbing and everything before Donkey Kong Country 2 did it. We'll see the composers when we get to the end of the game, I suppose, if you're really curious to wait. Or I could look them up now, I guess. Obviously, since this was on Game Boy, the music can't be as atmospheric as the original Super Nintendo release. But I do actually like this version of Gangplank Galleon. I think this is a very interesting... like, take on extending the original song and keeping it as a sea shanty. Sometimes if you die and the character falls off screen, even if you have another Kong in a reserve, you'll just die. And I'm not sure why. Nothing that way. Oh. You gotta be a little careful with this game. You can't run as fast as you could on the original. But you do kind of get into a rhythm with it. You kind of get used to how the game works. Oh, yeah, there are only 2 animal buddies in this game, Espresso and Rambi, and that's it. See, that I picked up is I think it's called a bomb barrel or something. The point you're supposed to use it for is to, on the map, you will find groups of rocks like this. And then you just blow it up. And then I gotta do it again for that second pile of rocks. Weird. There's only 2 places in the game where they do this. And this first time they have you do... There's 2 of them. I guess to, like, give you some choice on where you want to go. But you have no idea what'll be ahead, so it doesn't really make a difference which one you pick. I mean, as funny as this game's story is, it's not... When we get to Land 2, I actually think that game's story is even more ridiculous than this one. Oops. Wow, I actually didn't die. Getting used to their jump arc is pivotal. You're gonna want to be holding down that jump button to extend your jump as long as possible. And you get used to rolling off of every single ledge. It's certainly a game, it's certainly not a terrible game, but it's definitely a game that takes some getting used to. There's a lot of jank with it, and once you can master that jank, it's a pretty fun time, I'd say. It's really awkward, and it just does not compare. It just doesn't compare to the console the console games. I admittedly struggled through this one. Hey, I don't blame you. I struggled through this one as well. Although 2 was way worse. I had way more difficult time with 2. And we'll see that when we get to it. I should be able to beat 2 comfortably within my usual time window, but we'll see, especially since I just completed a run. Oh wow, okay. That's what I get for trying to listen to what the game tells me. Being able to save after every level is actually really nice, because not even the console games let you do that. But the way you do it is kind of annoying, so I don't know if this was the best solution. If the game could save after every level, then I really think it should just auto-save whenever you complete a level. That's how I would do it. I mean, it's a Game Boy game, for Pete's sakes. People are going to be taking this with them places. Gosh, what the heck? Whew. So many times there's just gonna be jumps and you're just like, I gotta take a leap of faith on that one. There we go. Oh, I missed one. Let me see if I can... What's there? Oh wow, when you're holding a barrel, I didn't even know that. You don't jump a little bit. Oop, there we go. Alright, I have to go back. That's why I have the guide open, so I don't waste time looking for these. Alright. Ah! I knew it. Whoops. Alright, and now we could just leave. Interestingly, from a bonus area, you can't pause and leave. I think it's also interesting they decided to throw in the snow levels right in the beginning. Like, you've got jungle and snow levels right next to each other. Which is very unusual for, like, just games in general, honestly. Well, that's easy. Another one of these already, you say? Hold on. Okay, nothing. You gotta check everywhere. In this one, if you're, like, a little attentive, you'll usually find them, but there's always one or two that's just really out of the way, and it's like, okay. I don't know why it waited so long. Oop, died. Man, see, that's so much easier to find if you're on Game Boy Color. If you're on the original game, all of that just blends into each other. Because it's all green. When I first played these games, I did it on the 3DS. I had the 3DS Virtual Console. They got a camera that's way too slow to keep up with you. And they insist on you, like, doing these barrel segments. I think this is the level that introduces the snakes on the ropes. Those are nasty. Alright, nothing that way. Hold on, I'm gonna go up. Okay, can't go up. I gotta fall down, eh? Oh my gosh. In later levels, those slippers on ropes get, they get so aggravating. Because they'll be on ropes that you have to go to, and they won't appear until you're, like, right next to it. Alright, nothing off to the side there. Alright, another checkpoint. I knew it. Oh, I knew it. You never know what's below you. You can't, like, move the camera to see down there. Ay, ay, ay. Nothing off to the... Oh, yeah, there we go. Another checkpoint. 3 checkpoints, huh? It's like my jump never reaches far enough. And I'm not entirely sure if I have Diddy. I wonder what the reasoning for switching from checkpoint barrels was. Honestly, I am asking that same question because the other 2 games have checkpoint barrels. Oop, there it is. Oh, and they have steel kegs, which you can actually ride them, which is something that none of the other 2 games, that neither of the other 2 games do. But it's not very useful, because that usually just means if you stay on it for too long, you're gonna get run off. Okay, I didn't have Diddy. See, like, I have no idea if I have an extra hit or not. That was the entire point of giving you a second Kong, was visually indicating that you have another hit. Little partner icon on the others. Yes, in the other 2, they give you a little icon on the bottom of the screen that shows that you have another hit. Doesn't really explain why... Doesn't really explain, though, why they decided to make the life system these heart icons. Like, I don't know. I have no idea how many lives I have. I think I would have rather just all of those things I picked up just be life indicators instead. Life balloons. That's what I meant. Oops. I can't believe I just died like that. Well, that's embarrassing. I don't have Diddy, okay. I gotta check, right? I gotta stand still and press select to find out if I actually have him with me. Alright, last level of the world. I just had one of these. You're gonna do it again? At least it actually saves your entire file instead of saving just up to that level like Crash. That's true. I mean, it's not the worst. When you get used to it, it's not the worst thing in the world. It's just a very confusing decision because I don't understand. I just don't understand what the point was. Oh, dead. Can't hesitate. Well, at least I get a 1-up if I keep coming back in here. Never mind. And just like the first, and just like Country, they're one and done. If you don't complete them, you can't go back, which is a problem if you're trying to, like, you know, get all of the Kong letters so you can save the game. Probably wanted to have more of a point. Yeah, no, I understand, like, the different reasons they could have done this. It's just, I think there were better options. Also, wow, okay. Ooh, hold on, we got a bonus there. Yeah, well, that was on me. Interestingly, unlike in the other games, when you die with both Kongs, it actually takes the other Kong away from you. You don't get to keep it when you come back. I always time that poorly. The camera jolts around a lot, doesn't it? I mean, the game does like to throw a lot of lives at you, so we've got at least that going for us. Ooh, and I tried to do it fast, but because I can't see what's coming up. Take your time. Just take your time with this game. I think the game does save when you beat a boss, though. Oh, but when we, oh, the bosses. When we get to the bosses, oh my goodness. There we go. Okay. There we go. First boss, his name is Wild Sting, and this is all he does. That's it. Look, I get that these games were simple, but I think you could have come up with something a little bit different. So now that we've reached World 2, you might be wondering, if I want to go back to World 1, what do I do? Well, you just press right on that level, and here you go. Good for him, being a secret you could fly. Pretty impressive. You know what? You know what? We could give him that. And now we got World 2, which is called Kremlantis. Okay. World 2 is called Kremlantis. And it's all temples and underwater levels. And the nice thing about the underwater levels is that, just like the console version, there are no bonus barrels in them. I'm pretty sure. I mean, I guess we'll find out, but I'm pretty sure from my test playthrough I did yesterday that there is no bonus barrels in those. But this is a pretty groovy temple music. If only you could hear it. Yeah, enemies coming out of nowhere will... Enemies who come out of nowhere are the norm in all of these games. Whoa. Bye. When you're playing this game on Super Game Boy, every world has its own palette, but the palette goes for everything, so I think we're probably better off just sticking to this palette here. The Nintendo Game Boy does have options to let you decide if you want it to be green, white, and black, or with Game Boy Color colors. I knew it. I wouldn't be able to fall fast enough. Is the risk worth it just to be able to save the game? They do look very friendly, don't they? There we go. What, do you want to save your progress? You're gonna have to work for that. No, I don't. It's not necessary. Gosh, Donkey Kong's sprite being this wide is like egregious on Game Boy. Now it's a true European platformer. Oh, we're playing with Amiga now. I knew there was gonna be the catch. Yeah, the sound design isn't terrible. I mean, it's just got the usual Game Boy thing where if you like, you collect something or jump on something, we've only got like 3 channels for audio or whatever, so... I think it's actually 4 channels of audio, like the NES. I mean, they understood the limits of the Game Boy, and they composed music and sound effects appropriately. And we get 2 different kinds of water levels in this game. We've got those underwater temple, and now we've got the regular, what you'd expect with aquatic ambience. And it's a pretty dang good version of aquatic ambience, I'll say. Oh, wow, they go down far. Oh, missed the K. Guess we aren't saving. It's fine, I'll save at a later level. Wow, that just came out of nowhere, didn't it? Guess they even realized that, because they gave you a 1-up, like, right after it. Oh my gosh. Well, there's the end. Honestly, the mincers being smaller and faster makes them way more dangerous. Oh, right there, too. Jack's gamer grandma would skip save points in DKC because they made it too easy. I mean, I can beat the game without using them, to be fair. I just have them for insurance or in case I want to leave and do something else. Interesting take, though. I didn't realize she was an elitist. There we go. What am I jumping for? Oh, right. This is that level. Okay. Oops. Well, I found a bonus room. Alright, there we go. Yeah, I think I'll skip those. Whew. Oh my gosh, that was way closer than it had any right to be. Oh, we got another one of these. We'll go there later. We got one more level over here to do first. Just like the first DKC, the number of bonus barrels is not consistent, which makes it a little bit aggravating trying to figure out when you've got them all. I mean, the water levels having none is nice, at least. More so just for the consistency over everything else. Oh my goodness. I remember this one. The flappers really got in my way. I don't know what this fish enemy is called. It didn't have I don't think it has a name that I've been able to find. I mean, it probably has a name listed in the manual, but they didn't make a render for it, so I didn't see it while I was looking around. I don't know why they made a new one instead of just using Bite Size. I mean, they've got Chomps Jr. here, and I think Chomps is in the game too, but he's very rare. There we go. We've got 2 of these bomb things. Now here's the level where we get chased by Nemo. I don't know why they couldn't use Croctopus. Because they literally have a level with the same gimmick in DKC, and you're being chased by Croctopus. I need Diddy. Where is he? And that's Clambo. He doesn't shoot things anymore. Instead, they just open and close to block your path. Alright, there we go. We got Diddy now. Like that. Oh, they gave me another DK barrel. But in order for this game to do what it does, they had to make a lot of new models for things that weren't in the original Donkey Kong Country, which is interesting to think about. Oh my gosh, I was above it! I don't know which way I'm going. Oh, I'm going the wrong way. Some bananas would have been nice. There we go. There we go. I don't think I got all the Kong letters. I don't think there's gonna be an O that'll suddenly appear. back here again. I can guarantee you that was probably, like, right near the end of the level. Gosh dang it. I gotta run away from these things while keeping my speed up. Excuse me. Yeah, while keeping my speed up and maintaining a safe distance from all the hazards. There, leave me alone. Oh, he's still going. I wonder if Croctopus wouldn't work because Croctopus works on a set path. And this guy just needs to follow you. Yeah, I missed the O. Ah! Well, at least I got to the next checkpoint. Well, he's not chasing me. Funny. I could try going a little slower, maybe taking the lower route. And it's really just a matter of knowing what's where. Trial and error and all that. Well, there's the G. Alright, there we go. We're out of there. Never really heard Careless Whisper in this song until this. People say you can hear Careless Whisper in Aquatic Ambience. I've never heard that. I've never heard people claim that. Joke's on me, I just hit the DK barrel. I can see bananas down there. Okay. Whew. There we go. There's gotta be a bonus barrel. Ah. There it is. It's nice that these little tornadoes can just be stopped by a pit. A tiny pit. Weird to suddenly go to a city. Yeah, all of the all the bonus rooms just kind of send you to whatever random location they feel like sending you to. Anyway, here's boss number 2. Also a bit of a joke. In fact, all of these bosses are jokes. Oop, there it is. That's it. Like, he doesn't change his plan, he doesn't do anything different. It's not even like a quick, so it's annoying to figure out. Anyway, World 3, I think it's called, like... Oh, what's it called? Like, Chimp Caverns and... No, hold on. Let me check. Monkey Mountains and Chimpanzee Clouds. That's the name of the world. Well, I blame myself for that one. I can't believe they added in these just for those small areas. They added in, like, the little crouching under mechanic. They don't really like giving you... they don't really like giving you Rambi in these levels. You can kind of hear cave dwellers chant in this song a little bit. And it's worth noting that if you remember when I did the color version of Donkey Kong Country, this game was... when I did the color version of Donkey Kong Country, this music was in the cave levels in that game. I think this might have been the... Yeah, I think that was a hole that I was supposed to use the DK Brel for. Oh well. If that's not the case, though, that'll be nice. Alright, hold on. I'll be able to get up there using that platform. Oh, almost. Wow, it's really close. Okay, guess I do gotta use the tire. It's probably back where it started. Yep, okay, so we just gotta do it again. There we go. The only thing that's in there is the G. Yes, finally, thank you. Now I can save the game. Okay, thanks. Honestly, if Nintendo wants to do any more remakes of Game Boy games, I wouldn't mind seeing a remake of this. Or of this whole trilogy, actually. It could really use it. Alright, look at this one. This is crazy. They actually made a quote-unquote bonus room where you have to go back. Because guess what? There's the O. There's always that one esoteric bonus in every game, huh? Yeah. I mean, it's not the worst. Because the game does clearly indicate that you need to go up there. These levels can be real tough if you're not, like, anticipating what's coming. But once you, like, get a bit of a handle on it, it's really not that bad. These levels can be a real stinker, though. This is just so un-Donkey Kong Country-like. Like, when you compare how realistic they made the environments for the Super Nintendo game, like, where are we now? I didn't roll. How was I supposed to know that? There we go. Oh my gosh, I keep thinking I'm gonna mess it up. This is one of the few levels where you can actually see everything clearly, and that's because most of the background is plain. Of course. There we go. There's only one level in this world that I actually have a problem with, and it's in the second half here. Oh my gosh, I forgot about that bonus up there. I think no, it's just a Kong letter. Yeah. Yep. Okay, so I had another Kong there, but I died anyway. Never can figure out what the deal is. Yeah, I'm missing the K because it was at the top there. Oh my gosh, that was clutch. Never mind. Ooh. They really just sneak up on you. Of course, I can't make that jump. Alright. We'll get there. We'll get there. Your momentum's all messed up if you're not running when you do a jump. Whew. I had another Kong! Are you kidding me? Again, the same bug. Does it just do that where it can't figure out where to put the other Kong after you die? Hello, Austin. Welcome, welcome. Ooh. Up and over. There we go. Just Don't follow the bananas. Just jump normally. Ooh, I missed one. First thing we gotta do is, as soon as we get in, we gotta run left. I don't know why they did this, but they did. There you go. Now I gotta remember where the other thing is. It is. I don't know why it's set up like that. Alright, keep an eye out for where the next one may be. I didn't see any barrels. You can't look down. There's no way to turn the camera so that you can look at something below you. I knew it. Ugh. There we go. Alright, I got a couple of these to go through. I can't believe it. I'm like right there. Ah, I'm flubbing it. But I have no idea if I've even hit the life cap or not. It is a lot of one-ups, actually, yeah. Alright, there we go. Yeah, I guess it has been a while. Well, I'm doing alright. Just, I'm excited for Bonanza, so, you know, I'm getting ready by playing as many games as I can squeeze in between now and the 17th. In 3 more days, there will be only 2 weeks left. Very exciting. I've pre-ordered my copy already. And I've got the amiibo. Alright, so the gimmick for this stage, as you might have already figured out, is that you've got a platform, and when you jump on it, it changes directions. This one is more slow than anything else. Like, it's annoying, yeah, but... I remember this one giving me tons of trouble when I first played it. Looks like an 8-bit crushed sandwich. Well, this already looks better than how it did on the original Game Boy. Imagine this, but everything is green, and there's no option to change it to anything else. At least this one bothered to change all of the things that move to a different color. I died. Lost control. There we go. Okay, we got control again. We're back on track. Jeez Louise. Are you kidding? I rolled into him. And you gotta wait. Ugh, lost control. That keeps that's gonna happen on this level if you're not very careful about your movement. I can't just... I'm trying to adjust my position, and I keep falling. There we go. That's how you do it. Ah, gosh dang it. Well, at least I made it. Gosh dang it! Alright, fine. Don't roll into the critters, I guess. I haven't even found any bonus areas yet. It's a good thing I got all those 1-ups a second ago. Are you kidding me? It wasn't even that far below. You could have moved it down just a tad. Oof. Never mind. I take back what I said about this level. It is annoying. Alright. 1, 2. Gosh dang it. There we go. Finally. Oi. That's all that was for? Just 2 IOUs for 1-ups? All right. Oh my gosh, the Kong letters just showed up. How far into the level are we now? Okay, we're good, we're good. This setting has Sega vibes. It's the polygonal environments, isn't it? Feels very Sonic 1 and 2-ish. That and the patterns. Yeah. Please tell me that was it. Okay, good. I noticed there was a secondary exit, but usually the secondary exit doesn't hide anything. Whew. Okay. Look, that other Crusher, like, turned around when he hit the... That other Crusher turned around when he hit the ledge. Why didn't this one? Oh yeah, you can't put barrels down in this game. There we go. At least they almost always, like, show you. What's the point of giving me espresso for such a short period of time? Oops. When you jump off of something, you bounce so fast that it's pretty hard to keep track of where you are. I don't know why they bothered to make Hogwash when Neki already fills that role of a flying enemy that you can bounce off of. Okay, just some bananas. Alright, one more level in the clouds. Oh, an Espresso can jump on enemies, unlike in Country. That's nice, but I'm curious why they did that. Lost Espresso. Sag. Oh. Oh, I messed up. Oh, I made it to a checkpoint. Okay, cool. Whoa! Really was not ready for that guy to be there. Yeah. Whenever I get blasted out of a cannon in this game, I don't hold any of the D-pad directions, because if I do, then who knows where I'm gonna end up. Okay, that time I had a Kong! And I could have made it, too. Oh, there we go. Ooh, I missed one. Let's see. Alright, where would the second bonus area be? Wonder if Espresso's got something to do with it. The mental image of K-Rool and Cranky on the phone for 2 hours collaborating on bad level ideas. Like they're just trying to sabotage the Game Boy. Wait. Oh my... Not only can Espresso jump on enemies, he can jump on zingers? Okay. Well, I have no idea where the second one is. This level is marginally easier than all the other cloud levels that came before it. Hang on a second. Nope. No? What does this say? Never mind. There's some naughties. Hold on. Oh, okay. They said after the one with the few naughties, just wait on the last one. Wait on the second to last one, rather. Oh my gosh. Well, at least I can get a whole bunch of lives back. Oops. Alright, there we go. Too many times I've died there. Anyway, here's this boss. He's also pathetic. In fact, I would argue that all of the bosses in this game are pretty pathetic. That's it. Like, man, you could have probably thought of something a little bit more challenging. Anyway, final world, Big Ape City. According to the manual, this is where the original Donkey Kong took place. So I guess it's New Donk City. There we go. I think it's just very interesting that they made a whole city environment, because it's very un-Donkey Kong. Well, I guess at this point, the only game that wasn't in, like, a city or some sort of metropolitan area was the first Donkey Kong Country, but as we've seen from the series, they really just spend a lot of time in, you know, wild environments. More naturalistic locations. With the exception of a factory, but the factories are usually implied to be abandoned. Plus the implication is they left. Honestly, I have no idea where they are right now, because this isn't DK Island. I have no idea where we are. Well, it was a bonus room. Oh, but it had the N in it. Ha! Oh well. What's this? They're giving me all the Kong letters immediately. What's going on? Well, that's actually this level's gimmick. They turn the Kong letters into a platform. It's just a strange thing, too. You don't need them all. Still works. There you go. Like, it's a very interesting gimmick. If they made it, like, difficult to find the Kong letters, it probably would have been a little more interesting. Ah, there it is. Ooh, the O. Where's the O? Oh, there it is. It's behind where they left me off. There we go. This game does do a much better job at balancing out the different level types they created. Like, compared to the first game, where it's all like caves and mine shafts. Anything? No, nothing down there. Okay, so the K is not here. So where is it? That must mean I missed something, right? Well, how did I miss that? Did I touch one of the tokens? Alright, well, now we know. There we go, that's what I needed. Yeah. Ow. It's weird, isn't it, that they, like, give you these tokens that can be traded in for 1-ups, but only at certain bonus levels? And they're usually the reward for completing a bonus level themselves, too. Ow. Well, we got the N. There we go. All right. Every time there's one of these, they always, like, tell you exactly where it is, which I'm always, like, surprised by. There we go. I got a lot of them. I mean, I missed a lot too, but, like, who cares? I do, because I just died. Alright, man. Your trail of bananas that's supposed to lead me to have a specific jump arc doesn't always work. Alright, I already did this one, so I'll just... yeah. There we go. Oh, well, could have guessed that, I guess. And nothing that way. A lot of sprite flickering. Hello? All right. There's not much more to go now. Three more levels. This one gave me a lot of trouble when I first did it. Although I think it was mostly because I wasn't being patient. Maybe they decided to make a new enemy instead of using Neki because the sprite for Neki was too large. I mean, Neki is a pretty wide enemy, so maybe that was why. Okay, nothing down there. Ugh, this jump. I hate that's part of the reason why I hate that jump. No, that's the reason why I hate that jump. So they took the bit from Slip Slide Ride and they put it here. We walked inside of each other for a sec. There we go. Yeah, I better get a 1-up after doing that. Of course. Remember that this is the part where I was complaining about those snakes. They make this level horrible. Not even when I'm trying to find all the secrets, it's just finishing it. Yeah, I'll take it. Okay, nothing on either side of me. Ah, excellent. I don't need the bananas that badly. Oh my gosh, it's getting real tight here. There we go. Whew. Yeah, we know why you're here. Just take the N and go. This track doesn't feel very DK. You know what? I agree. But, to be honest, considering we're only one game in, you know, what does DK feel like? You can't see the top of the rope. The slippers just keep spawning. There we go. It's so mean! It's so mean! Alright, 2 more to go. Oh my gosh. Well, I almost ate it. Didn't even need the barrel. Wow, these are really close to each other. Yeah, like I really needed those now. Alright, one more level. Not very final level-y music, huh? Doesn't really have much in the way of stakes, you know? Hey, at least there's no snakes. Yeah, just like Oil Drum Alley, you gotta be real careful with these. Whew. Sorry, I just gotta pay really close attention to these. They always give me trouble. What? There was a bonus barrel down there! I saw it! Okay. Hey. Okay, it's right over there. Okay, there's a tire you gotta bounce off of. There we go. Considering this is the last level, they better have that, like, that exchange for lives. Or just give me a bunch of lives, I guess. Missed the O. How the heck could the O be? If I'm totally honest, it's probably... Oh, the O is on that rope I skipped by taking the bonus. Okay. I'm actually surprised how many of these I'm just finding on my own, but I guess partially that's because, I guess part of that's because, when you have it set to this color mode, it's way easier to deal with. There it is. Can't be afraid here. So there's no, that's it. There's no more. They just give you a bunch of lives instead of having you exchange them. Okay. Hello? What was that pathetic jump? Alright. Just do that again. We're almost at the end, so don't worry. I don't have DK. Okay, I've only got Diddy. I knew that was the last jump, too. Okay, last level. So this boss fight with K. Rool is very, very simple. He runs to the side, he throws his crown, and he does this 6 times. So that's 2. 3. 4. 5. 6. Now he's going to run at me, and he belly flops every time he gets close, and he does that 6 times. 4. 5. 6. Now he just goes back to throwing the crown again. That's it. That's the game. And you don't get an ending. Just a congratulations. And that's Donkey Kong Land. I will give Donkey Kong... Yeah, he won't give you an ending. I will give Donkey Kong Land a lot of props. It did a lot of things that they didn't think could be done on the Game Boy, with trying to use the same art style as the console game, and it did manage to do it. It's also got a lot of original things in it. It's got a whole bunch of... It's doing its own thing, and I'll say that that's pretty cool, that it's doing its own thing, that it's not trying to be just a portable version of Donkey Kong Country. I can't really say that about the sequel. But overall, I would say that if you're interested, this is absolutely a game that's worth trying. This more so than the other two, I think. But we will try the other two when we get to it. Oh yeah, you asked earlier who did the music. It looks like it was David Wise, but it was also Graham Norgate, who I don't know. What other music has he done? Oh! He did Killer Instinct. He did Blast Core. Looks like he worked on Time Splitters. The last game, according to Wikipedia, the last game he worked on was Dead Island 2. Well, that's Donkey Kong Land, though. I'd like to thank you all for checking this out. Tomorrow we'll be continuing our Donkey Kong marathon with Donkey Kong Country 2, Diddy's Kong Quest. And that is Diddy's Kong Quest, not Diddy Kong's Quest. I'll see you guys later. Have yourselves a very good afternoon and a good night, and